Hello children, happy day. How are you all today? I hope you're all doing good and safe at home. Continue to be at home. Stay home, stay safe. What do you see in this picture? What difference you can see in this picture? In one of the picture the books are scattered. In the other one the books are organized in a proper way, in which it is easy for us to select or choose a book. Yes, it is in the second picture in which the books are organized in a proper way. There are 118 elements are known today, which are organized as periods and groups in a periodic table. Okay, so I'm going to teach a new lesson which is called periodic classification of elements. It's unit 8. So the periodic table what we are using nowadays is modern periodic table, but before that we used Mendeleev's periodic table. Why Mendeleev's periodic table? Because Mendeleev's periodic table has some limitations, it is replaced by modern periodic table. What are the limitations that Mendeleev's periodic table? One of the limitation is, in Mendeleev's periodic table, elements are arranged in increasing atomic masses. But if you see, the atomic mass of argon is 39.948, but for sodium it is 39.098. So obviously the atomic mass of sodium is lesser than argon. So the placement of argon and potassium are not according to increasing order of atomic masses. This is one limitation. Like such limitations, the Mendeleev's periodic table was replaced by modern periodic table, and a scientist called Henry Moseley in 1912 found a new property called atomic number. So in modern periodic table the elements are arranged in increasing order of atomic number. So what is periodic law? The physical and chemical properties of the elements are periodic function of the atomic numbers. In other words, we can say that when the elements are arranged in order of increasing atomic number, elements with similar properties appear at regular intervals. When elements are arranged in increasing order of atomic number, similar properties of elements are repeating itself after regular intervals. That is called periodic law. So what is periodic table? So this is the picture of modern periodic table what we are using now. So the modern periodic table is a tabular arrangement of elements in rows and columns, highlighting the regular repetitions of properties of the elements. So here the elements are arranged as groups and periods, and the elements are highlighted in a same color which have same properties. Let's see the features of periods. So what are periods? The horizontal rows are called periods, and there are 7 periods in a modern periodic table. I want you to refer your book. Modern periodic table is given in your book. So while I am explaining the features of periods and groups, I want you to refer your book. So there are 7 periods, and the first period is the shortest period, which contains only 2 elements, namely hydrogen and helium, and the atomic masses are 1 and 2. Then the second period is a short period which contains 8 elements from lithium to neon, and the atomic number is from 3 to 10. And the third period is a short period which contains again 8 elements from sodium to argon. Fourth period is the long period which contains 18 elements from potassium to krypton. Fifth period is also a long period which contains 18 elements from rubidium to xenon. Sixth and seventh period are the longest period which contains 32 elements. So that's about the features of periods. Let's see the features of groups. The horizontal rows are called periods and the vertical columns are called groups. And there are 18 groups in the modern periodic table. Group 1 is known as alkali metals, which forms strong alkalis with water. And group 2 known as alkaline earth metal, which forms weak alkali with water. And group 3 to 12 are called transition elements. And group 13 elements are called boron family, 14 are called carbon family, and 15 is called nitrogen family, 16 is called oxygen family, and 17 is called halogen family. Group 18 contains noble gases or inert gases. Group 3 elements are known as inner transition elements. Why? Because they have incomplete outermost shell and they have variable valencies and they form coordinate compounds. And all the elements present in each group have same number of electrons in their outermost shell, which means they have same valency. For example, if you take group 1 element, the elements present in group 1 will have valency 1. Elements present in groups possess similar chemical properties, and physical properties of the elements in groups vary. Group 0 elements have stable configuration in their valency shell and hence they are unreactive. Those are called inert gases or noble gases. Okay, periodic properties. There are some properties which repeat itself at regular intervals. Okay, such properties are atomic radii, metallic and non-metallic character, ionization energy, electron affinity, electronegativity, and melting point. Let's see this one by one. The first one is atomic radius. What is atomic radius? The distance between the center of the nucleus and the outermost shell containing the valency electron. So I am taking potassium as an example. So this is the atom of potassium, and if you see, the nucleus is present in the center. From this point to the outermost shell where the valency electron is present. So the distance between the center of the nucleus and to the outermost shell where the valency electron are present is called atomic radius. And atomic radius are classified into again two. One is covalent radius, another one is metallic radius. Covalent radius are formed when atoms are sharing their electrons, outermost electrons. When atoms of metals are joined, they form metallic radius. But the definition is different. What is the definition of this? It is the half the distance between the nucleus of the adjacent atom. So if you see, so this is the nucleus of one atom and this is the nucleus of another atom. So the distance between these two is called covalent radius. Same in metallic radius, but it is formed by metals, atoms of metals. So what about the trends of atomic radii in the periodic table? Okay, actually atomic radius shows two different trends in periodic table. One is atomic radius decreases along the periods. If you see, along the periods the atomic radius is decreasing, but along the group the atomic radius is increasing. Next we are going to see ionic radii. Okay, you know what is an ion? Ion is formed when an atom, neutral atom, gain or lose electrons and they become ion. And there are two ions, cations and anions. When atom lose electrons, they become positively charged, which is cation, and they gain electron, they become negatively charged ions, which is called anion. So when an atom lose electron, it becomes cation, then the radius of the parent nucleus will decrease, the size of the parent nucleus will decrease and forms an ion. See, this is the sodium atom, but this is an sodium ion, cation. If you see, the atom size is reduced when it forms an ion. So when it forms a cation, the size is decreased. When it forms an anion, the size is increased. So next is ionization energy. What is ionization energy? The minimum energy required to remove an electron from gaseous atom in its ground state to form a cation. So we can also call this as ionization enthalpy, which is measured in kilojoule per mole. Higher the ionization energy, it is difficult for us to move an electron from an atom. So ionization energy increases along the period but decreases down the groups. See, it also depends on the size. As we move from left to right in the modern periodic table, the atomic size is decreasing. So as the size decreases, the force of attraction between the nucleus and the outermost shell will be greater, so it is difficult for us to remove an electron. Next we are going to see electron affinity. What is electron affinity? The amount of energy released when a gaseous atom gains an electron and forms its anion. Okay, it is also measured in kilojoule per mole. Electron affinity increases along the period but decreases down the groups. Next, electronegativity. What is electronegativity? We know some atoms share their electrons. Okay, when the bond formed while sharing the electron, suppose if the bond breaks, one of the atom will take the bonded electrons, shared electrons. Okay, the atom which possesses strong pull force of attraction between the electrons will take away the shared pair of electrons. If you take sodium and chlorine, see, sodium and chlorine are sharing a electron. When the bond breaks between these two atoms, the shared pair of electron will be taken by the chlorine atom because it has strong pull towards the electron. So this is called electronegativity. It is the measure of the tendency of an electron to attract the shared pair of electron towards itself in a covalent bond. Okay, we use many metals in our day-to-day life. Okay, what is metallurgy? Science of extracting metals from their ores and modifying the metals into alloys for various uses based on the physical and chemical properties. That is called metallurgy. Okay, and we have 3 steps in metallurgical process. The first step is concentration or separation of the ore, which means we have to remove the impurities from the ore. Then the next step, step 2, is production of the metal, conversion of the ore into metal. Then step 3 is refining of the metal, which means purification of the metal. Let's see some terms which are used in metallurgy. Okay, the first term is mineral and ore. What is the difference between mineral and ore? Minerals are the natural occurring substance of metals present in earth crust. But ores are the minerals in which we can obtain metal in a profitable manner. All minerals are not ores, but all ores are minerals. Do you know why? Because all ores are obviously minerals because we can extract metal, but all minerals are not ores because every minerals will not give a profitable amount of metal. Okay, only few ores will give profitable amount of metals. Okay, for example, if you take clay is the mineral of aluminium, and bauxite, cryolite are also minerals of aluminium, but we can take bauxite and cryolite as ore of aluminium because only from these minerals we can obtain a profitable amount of aluminium. So it is called ore. What is mining? The process of extracting ore from the earth crust is called mining. Gangue or matrix are the rocky impurities that present with the ore. Flux is the substance added to the ore to reduce the fusion temperature, and slag is the fusible product formed when flux is added to the ore. Smelting is the process of reducing the roasted metallic oxide from the metal in a molten condition. So this is the molten condition, and this is the process of mining. There are different types of separation or concentration of an ore. The first one is hydraulic or gravity separation. Here, so this is the place where ore is inserted, and in one of the place water will be coming out. So the ore will be the dense ore will settle at the bottom, and the lighter impurities will be carried away. So this is called hydraulic separation. Next we have magnetic separation. Here the ore will be poured on a conveyor belt which is attached with two wheels. One is a magnetic wheel, another one is a non-magnetic wheel. When ores pass through the magnetic wheel, okay, the ionic substances, the ionic ores will fall slightly away, and the non-magnetic impurities will fall in a different place. So this is magnetic separation. Next we have froth flotation. Froth flotation mostly depends on mostly depends on the wettability of the ore with oil and gang with the water. Okay, so we will be taking oil and water in a tank. Okay, the ores will be wetted by the oil and it forms like a foam. Okay, this foam comes up with ore, and the impurities will be mixed with the water which will be settled at the bottom. So this is froth flotation. Chemical methods or leaching. In chemical methods or leaching, a suitable reagent will be added to the ore, in which ore will be soluble in it, but the impurities will not be soluble, which will be separated by the process of filtration. Okay, so there are different types of ores like oxide ores, carbonate ores, halide ores and sulfide ores. Different extraction method can be used for different types of metal. Most reactive metals can be extracted using electrolytic reduction. Medium reactive metals can be extracted using chemical reduction, and less reactive metals can be extracted using thermal decomposition.
I am Henry Moseley, who discovered the property of atomic number of elements. That's all about today's class, children. Bye. Thank you.